Welcome back to Project Ozone 3. Today, now that we've got ourselves into Project E and we've got to the transmutation tablet, we are going to want to get lots of EMC. Now, I did get, I have got lots of emeralds, and that's got 16,000 EMC. However, there are ways to get much more EMC than that. Yeah, for example, octable compressed sugarcane is 1 billion EMC. Let's just see, octable, is there octable cobble? Yeah, that's 43 million, and that should be a lot easier to get, I would imagine. So let me just have a look at that. Yes, so let me just add that as a shortcut. Not that I should need it for the octuple, but that should do to get started. However, for that, we're going to need a little bit of manganese ore, which I've just made, because we're going to ask the system to make a crafter, a tier 3 one, and it can actually do that once we've got some manganese. So that's going to go into there. I'm also going to need some Garfax ore. And I don't have... Well, sorry, I'm going to need some Garfax. And I don't have much. I only have 3 ore. Now, I could go and hunt down some more. Easy enough. However, if you get some Cinnabar along with your Garfax, in this case I've only got 3... if we put the Cinnabar in and the Garfax, each one of these should make 3 ingots. And then 3 times 3, obviously 9... And that should get us a block, and then we can get our wand of animation trick going as we normally would. So that'll just save that, assuming that it does actually go into a block. Let's give it in a second. There's 9, and let's just wrap this up into a block. Yep, yes, it does. And we should be able to animate that. And grab it, and go make more. And now that I have plenty of Garfax along with some crystalline, neither of which have an EMC value, so we can't really use that shortcut to actually get more of them, we're going to need some cobblestone generators and some triple compressed cobblestone, and we should be able to make a creative cobble generator. That's going to need an elite crafting table, and do I have one? Probably not. Can I actually make one? Wait the system to make one. Is it got enough stuff? It does. Let's just create one of those. And this comes from a commenter called Tapo00 saying, yeah, you can basically get octuple compressed cobblestone and use that to get your EMC. Now, of course, octuple compressed sugarcane is a huge amount more. However, it's probably easier for us to get the cobblestone, at least to get us started, and then we can switch to octuple compressed sugarcane once we've got enough sugarcane going. So let's grab the elite crafting table. We can just put it down here. It doesn't need to be anywhere specific. And then we get a creative cobble generator by shift-clicking 4 tier 5 cobblestone generators, which I prepared earlier, along with our triple compressed cobble in the center. And we should also get a quest for this, I think. Yeah, we do. Okay. And that should have gone to here. Good. And it is one of the quests down at the very bottom of the this whole thing. It's in the creative section, I would imagine. Are you in here? Yeah, you're there. Everlasting cobble generator. 25 rack, and we're done. Okay, so from there we're going to want EMC. So to get that done, we're going to then hook this up to a crafter, and I think I asked the system to make a crafter if I don't already have one in my inventory. Yes, we've got a tier 3. I'm also going to get some dislocators. Not called dislocators, they're called translocators. That helps. 4 of them, well, I'll need 2. And then we want our table. Yeah, we want one of these tables, I would have thought. And then let's go and look for somewhere to put this. I think I want it in my void world. I want to be able to witness this. And to be able to shut it off if I need to. There we go. And we'll head upstairs. Don't need anywhere specific for it. But we're going to be going, I assume, down twice. So from Creative Cobble into the Crafter, we can just put it straight up and down. Yeah. Why don't we try that and we'll see if that actually works. Okay, so let's just knock these blocks out and let's give this a go. So let's put the Crafter there and put these blocks back up at the top, just temporarily. Wrong place. Okay, and let's see if we can... In fact, I don't want there. I want the creative cobble generator there. And then we should be able to just put these translocators, hopefully. No, you're not having it? You'll take it. That's annoying. Is this going to work the same way as others then? Will it need an actual an inventory or something like that? So let's just see if it will actually send something into an inventory. Doesn't much matter what the inventory is. A chest will do. Oak chest for now. No, not one of those chests. We want a crate or something I can see the inventory of. When something else on top of it. Okay. And create a cobble generator there. Will you just... Oh, wow. Okay. Yes, we've got plenty of cobble. Okay. And then we should be able to just put the item translocator there. Good. Get a piece of glowstone, which is incredibly cheap to get this going. Let's just actually get a few of them. And I can never remember which side it is. It's probably the output side. And then I want to set up the recipes before, well, maybe. Let's grab that. It's really outputting stuff really fast, almost instantly. And then we're going to set this up. So recipes, we're just going to tell this to compress stuff, really. Apply. And these are all going to be internal recipes. You get the idea. And we will basically get that done. We need some power. So let's just get one of our coils. Spectre coils, that is. That should be enough, I would have thought. And we can put that down here. Yep, that's converted it all over. And we need to basically resave that to internal. And then we just go up here and we do the same thing. So we just get the recipes. There we go, double. And I'll do the rest off camera. And we are going to want sugarcane as well, so let's actually just establish this using beetroot and seeds, and hopefully in the middle here we should get some of the agricraft version of these, the sugarcane seeds. We want the agricraft version because we can then 10 them. However, we can just presumably just increase the speed of this quite a lot. Just getting in another coil. Oops, and another one of those. That does not have EMC either. Such a shame. If you just grab a whole stack of them if it did. And on you go. So that's not this time. Not this time. Let's just get rid of that. Replace it. And let's see what breeds this time. Wheat. No, I would like sugarcane. Maybe it needs... maybe it needs sand in the middle. Let's just... yeah, let's just swap that out for sand. I should have some on me. Okay, and let's try that again. Where's my spectre coil? Yep, there we go. Okay, will you actually give us seeds, however? Yes, you will. Okay, and then we're just going to put it on our usual array. So here comes the sugarcane seeds. And, oh, it's not valid. We need to replace all that with sand. I don't think we're going to do that. I'm going to replace all this one with sand, I think. Yeah. 1 second. And there we go. So we should be able to just put that in there, and it will just head off down that way. And of course, we've got an imaginary time block as well. What we should probably do is just put more of those down, and I can just actually get more of them from my tablet. There it is. Imaginary. It does cost a little bit for these, but they are, you know, 738,000, but we've got 68 million already, so let's just get 4, and then we can just make up 4 coils, and that should be straightforward. There we go. And we can just make sure that whenever we do this in future, should we do any more, all of this will be really quite fast. Something like that. That should do. And then just put our coils down on top. Well, in fact, it's already done, so I'm not going to power this up for the moment. Should be wasting energy, but let's just get rid of... what do we actually get up to by the time we got around? We get 10, 10, 10s. Oh, it's unidentified, isn't it? I should have identified it first, shouldn't I? Let's put it in. That's probably going to be 111, I would have thought. Oh, no, it went to 10 to 10. Good. Okay, so I can basically get rid of all the rest of them. And then I'll just put that into a chest here for a second. I'll get rid of all the rest and we'll replace them and then just duplicate up. I only need about 8 10 10 10s to be honest, but we'll just duplicate them up. And here we are over back at our normal void base, and we around the back here. I've just got an extra area filled with sand. We may need some more water around to make this valid, but I'll consider that later. Let's just, well, I'm not sure how AgroCraft actually expects this, so let's just put these in. Will they grow if I put them in every one of these? Hopefully they will. And there we go. And we can put our plant gatherers in. So I guess I may need to move that. But let's just put them in. Need to face either way. Okay. There we go. One that way. And then one that way. Okay. They'll need power, of course, but they should start gathering this once everything starts growing. And then if we can sneakily put in the imaginary time block in the middle, which we should be able to, and then put a coil onto it, will everything grow? That's not growing right now. So maybe it does not like the sugarcane onto those crop sticks. However, they did grow once they were by water on the other side of things. That's very, very odd. Is it dark? It is nighttime. Let's just yeah, that's probably the actual issue. Let's just get some light on the subject. Glowstone blocks, maybe, just temporarily. Oops. There we go. There we go. Yep, just light. And these have no power just yet, but they will have very shortly. Let's just fill in some of these just temporarily. So we'll just put those down. Probably best to put actually proper conduit over them, but they are going and they're already creating sugarcane. And we probably want to try and speed that up somewhat. We may want to see if our imaginary time blocks will actually duplicate the effect. Well, or at least increase the effect, I should say, imaginary. Let's just put this down. Let's stack up here. I'm not sure how the vertical size is, so let's just get rid of this temporarily. And let's put it back here. And make a few more coils. Okay, they're all placed down. They're all now full, so I'm just going to use ender chests. Easy way of keeping a shared inventory that doesn't have any issues with speed upgrades and everything like that. We'll just be able to put that down, and let's just go back to normal mode, and we can just get rid of the dirt. There we go. And then we can just fill the dirt space in with translocators. Assuming that pulling out of the back of these will work. Let's give that a go. Got our translocators, and 1, 2. Will you actually translocate for me? If I just get rid of that. Yep, that'll work fine. Okay, so I'll do the same thing with the rest, and that should be really quite quick. So let's just go and grab and do that. So 1, 2. Don't need to worry about the sludge on these, remember, so we don't have to empty that at all. That's much better than MFR used to be. That used to require it. And then a usual thing is we just need glowstone. I don't think these will actually grab sugarcane fast enough to need the glowstone, but it's just worthwhile having it anyway. And let's just put it on the output side. There we go. A bit closer. And then we should be able to turn this all on. And this will fill up these inventories really quite quickly. Yeah, you see it's already filling up. Let's just go turn all these on before we actually get to the rest of it, because then we can just move somewhere else for the rest, because these are all going to be just on by default. There we go. And lastly, that one right there. There we go. Okay, so all of this will continue to grow just fine. I'm not convinced that they will have a stacked effect from the secondary imaginary time block, but we can actually just go and take our last ender chest, and we'll basically be able to do the same kind of crafting thing, but just next to this. In fact, right next to it will do just fine. Let's just raise that up. And I probably need another crafter, don't I? So let's just tell the system to make another crafter, then realize what we're actually short of to make another crafter. You never, no, it actually has just about enough. And then we will just grab you. That will do. Let's grab our crafter. Tier 3. And then we want to configure this. So we're going to want to make the sugarcane, the compressed sugarcane. So if we go back down through it, it should be able to go to up to the point at which it's making blocks. Yeah, first we take regular sugarcane and make it into compressed sugarcane, which is the first step. So let's just send in some that way. And then we just do the same thing as we did before. Set this to internal. We got the recipe, and that will do. We just need one more coil for the back of this. Okay, and we're going to set this to fast instead of slow mode, and it's already made up the compressed one. And again, the same thing here. We want that recipe moved up. Okay, and we can turn this on. And also add a little bit of glowstone. Okay, so let's go in stack wise, and it's starting to make double compressed with all of the all of the sugarcane that we have. It's probably going to fill up because I haven't hit remember or something like that. So yeah, let's just remove you, or yeah, let's just fill in another recipe. There we go. And we can apply that internal again. And we can carry on repeating that. The same thing as this side, and just clearing out this inventory so that it actually can work. On this side, it's already got to sextuple, and septuple is next. So once it gets to septuple, I'll be able to put the recipe in for octuple, and then we just have to wait for it to get to that block. And once we get to a block, we know how we can duplicate blocks with our wand of animation, don't we? So we'll be able to get octuple compressed cobblestone out of this, and we'll be able to get octuple eventually compressed sugarcane, which is much better out of this, but it's probably a great deal slower than our cobblestone. So, you know, we'll have each of them available. And yeah, there does appear to be a stacking effect. There is quite a difference when I start to enable more of these things around in the same area. These are really even not full grown now. And of course, it's probably going to plant gatherers at this point that is slowing things down. We could go to cloches and stuff like that. That's something that says, oops, wrong way. We could go to that, but I'm not too convinced that I need to just yet, because we're not going to be doing this for all that long. Once it actually gets me the blocks that I want, I'm only really going to worry about enabling mob essence. You'll see this is already up to quadruple, and quintuple is not far away. Quadruple, it's already 200,000 EMC per block. This on the cobblestone sextuple is 500,000. So this is many, many, many times further up the chain than quadruple. It's only, it looks like 3 or 4 steps, but it is quite a big difference. And yeah, I mean, whichever one we get to the top end, the octuple first, is the one we're going to start using. And I imagine it will be cobble, because coal is just faster. And while our EMC blocks are cooking up for us, we want to start looking into what the prerequisite for the endgame items, which is singularities. Now, there's lots of them. The process for setting each one up is pretty much going to be identical. So first of all, we just need to go and get an area. I've just got an area there. Might need to be a bit bigger than that, but we'll see that very shortly. I need to go upstairs, and I'm going to want to make, in fact, I don't even need to go upstairs. I want to make more energy condenser Mark IIs. So energy condenser Mark IIs. It's 1,000,000 EMC each, so I'm just going to make, I don't know, 8 for now, until we get some decent EMC blocks. And then we'll pop downstairs, and then we're going to be making whatever the ingredients are for the singularity in the condenser Mark IIs. So, for example, coal, we're going to be making coal. So let's just grab one piece of coal. And then, so where did I put the area? Yeah, there we go, over here. And eventually we'll be feeding in whatever we're going to be using for EMC blocks into these, and then they should serve as a good resource. But for now, let's just put the first one down. So how many singularities are we actually going to need? Let's look in the quest book. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 by 3, so 32. It looks like it's going to ask us to make different singularities for. And the ultimate singularity then, is that all 32, or is there some of them just, you know, window dressing? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 27, 30, 32. So yes, you're going to need all of them. So we're going to need 33 essentially eventually, which means this platform needs to be probably 11. No, probably even at least 12 by 12. How many is it at the moment? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to need more to this platform. I think I'm just going to extend it a little bit further out and just we'll have a slightly oblong area, but that will do fine. So 3, 4. That should do it, actually. Let's just get rid of that. Let's put a glowstone block. I'll replace these with painted ones later. Just important for now, just to get this set up. And the same thing on this side. Okay. So we'll just set up along here. And on the bottom, I think we're going to make the quantum compressors. They're the things that are going to make the singularities. So in here, we'll feed in coal. We'll need some ultimate catalysts. Not sure if they get used up or not. We'll see very shortly. I don't remember us using them in Project Ozone 2. I think this recipe was a little bit simpler back then. And remember, none of this has EMC values. So we have to make a lot of this stuff apart from the ingredient here. So let's see if this accepts input from the top, shall we? So let's put you down. And you're going to need power. Okay. How much power are you going to use up actually doing this? Well, we'll see. Let's just put something on the front. Wow. That is a large power gauge. I'm probably going to need more power. Okay. Anyway, we can just get some translocators. And where are they? Item ones. Let's put down our temporary block. And then we're going to put above that the energy condenser. Same setup as before. Okay. And then we're able to put the coal at the top left. And, you know, anything else. So, for example, I don't know, let's get a few stacks of diamonds because we haven't got our EMC blocks yet. So let's just put them in. And that should be enough diamonds to make quite a lot of coal. And you'll see it's already feeding in. And we can, of course, speed that up significantly. Yep. And a coal singularity will be a few thousand items, I would have thought. To get this going, we're going to need a catalyst. And it's going to need to be these ultimate catalysts. That's going to need more black iron. Let me just make one then for now. Oh, I need even one block of black iron. Is there any actual just ingots I can just grab temporarily? There's one black iron ingot. Okay, so I need to go and get more of those. Fine, they're back over at the mob essence farm. So in the meantime, this can just take a lot of this quite easily. Yeah. Okay. I'll let that build. That's still building without even showing any gauge whatsoever. Oh yeah, there's the gauge. So that's what, 500 million FE? Might have to go to the higher coils. 1 second, more black iron needed. Okay, let's try again with a higher tier coil. That should transfer things a great deal faster. It is. Still not moving that gauge, but that's fine. And then we've got the ultimate catalysts here made by the system. So if I put this here, it will then start making coal singularities. Okay, and then we can retrieve those underneath. They won't be terribly fast by comparison to everything else, so having them underneath is not so much a bad idea. And then generally we'll just bring them into the middle into another, well, whatever's needed for the ultimate singularity. Ultimate singularity needs these in an ultimate crafting table. Okay, so do we have any crafting tables spare? The ultimate kind, that is. No, let's just create one, which needs some gunpowder. I need to teach the system how to make gunpowder. And I'm running out of other things that makes gunpowder. But crafting table. He needs one more gunpowder. Really? There are other recipes. However, your farm will just have huge amounts of the stuff. So, you know, feel free to just basically dump all of them into your system. I'm keeping most of this mob farm stuff out of the system just because it'll fill stuff up that I don't necessarily need. But that will work just fine. And then that should let me make the table. It'll use up some of these other previous tiers, I think. And I might need to craft those again. I'd rather it didn't use them up, but it's fine. We should just get one. And then we want one of the automation things, don't we? Automation interface. Need a little bit of glass. Let's just get some sand out, and that should do the job. There we go. Glass can go in. Automation. Okay, that will craft. So the table, which should now be done. Yep. And the automation should also be done pretty quickly. Yeah, there we go. And then we basically just going to put this in the center of that area and then feed all the other ingredients to it as and when they're produced. So if we just say roughly here, something like that, put the automation interface on top. As we get one, we can just pick one up. Well, pick a few up, but we just get one up here and put it down. And that's basically something that we'll just pick up the recipe for as and when I place these. Of course, to get started, we'll be placing that manually, but that will not last very long. This does not need a large amount of power, so we can just put a spectacle on the back. And there it goes. It'll start filling just fine. So we've got our setup for the Singularities. At this point, it's not using up the ultimate catalyst, which is good. It is generating power, or containing power, and all we'd really need here is to feed into the top of, or back of this, wherever it accepts the input from, a source of EMC. And that's what we're waiting for upstairs. Let's go and see if that's any closer. It may have to wait till the next episode because it does take a while to get to these blocks. And then next episode, we'll probably look at some sustainable, yeah, it's still actually going, some sustainable means of just continually generating mob essence. I probably will just generate mobs and get rid of them quite quickly. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it. You can obviously welcome to put comments down below if you have any suggestions for the maximum amount of mob essence we can squeeze out of these mobs. But this is going to go on just fine. Quintuple is already 1.8 million EMC per block, so I could get quite a fair amount for that. In fact, I'm probably going to take one of these just as a temporary measure and set this up as this. Remember the slots so that it doesn't ever jam them up, and that is going to work fine. So that now has a sextuple, which it goes up to 17 million, even though we're going from quintuple, which is 1.8 times 9 is more EMC. So yeah, it is more beneficial to continue up through these chains. And I would like to use one of these as the blocks, but we've only got 1.8 million blocks at the moment, which will do the job. You know, we just need a mob imprisonment tool. And we'll grab one there. And then just do our usual trick. Okay, so we've got the block we want. Let's head over, because we've still got quite a lot of mob essence available. I think this one may still be either producing black iron blocks or it'll just have finished producing them. Yeah, we've got a few stacks of them because I needed them quite a lot. So that will do the job. And then we'll just pop inside and just replace this with our temporary EMC block. Quite a terrible one, but we have more coming fairly soon. And then we'll just pop down here and turn it on. So yeah, the amount we've got at the moment is, well, 1100 buckets, but that's going down quite fast. And what's over here on this side? This is about another 1200 buckets that I haven't converted through or anything, so that will go quite well as well. So yeah, we could just turn on the mob farm to actually get that done, but yeah, no big deal. Fluid dictionary converter does the job very, very well. And you can see we're already getting blocks here, so that's going to start appearing up here. And we can just pull a filter out of these into another inventory, you know, different color ender chest. That's probably worth doing. So ender chest. Let's just make a few of those. And some kind of color. So rose red do we have? Poppy? Yeah, some poppies. Let's just make rose red. And oh, wrong block. let's just pick the middle one. I don't think I've used that color before. Doesn't look like it. And then wherever I want EMC, then all I need to do is grab each of these. Should have put this on fast mode, but it doesn't take very long. We can just put one up here. And then grab our Yeta wrench if it's in my backpack. Yep. Shift left click. And we want to edit the up. So we want to have an insert here, not an extract. And the insert needs a filter, which is a very cheap craft. We've already got a basic item filter. It's got something in it, but not anymore. Up is going to be an insert, then a filter, then a whitelist. We want the quintuple ones. Yep. And that should already be dragging them around. Yep. Yeah, I'll take this other stuff out. That should be all back in here. I need to rearrange stuff. Oh, too much stuff in my inventory. But yeah, the idea, it will only be taking what we want it to after this gets dumped out. There we go. So we've got pure quintuple blocks going into that. And we now have an inventory. Get rid of those. We have an inventory that we can just pull straight on the other side of the portal for our EMC farm, at least temporarily. It won't be very good otherwise. So let's just grab you. But because these are such a large amount of EMC as well, you don't need to do all that kind of setup where you have lots of ender chests. Just a regular kind of approach for this will do fine. So if we just grab our ender chest here, and let's say we put it on top, and then put a couple of conduits. I assume they're going to go into the input. Let's give this a go. So that's an insert only. This is an exit only. And yep, it's going into the input. Okay. However, this is going to be basically a lot of EMC for just this one thing. So you might want a round robin approach or something along those kind of lines. Once we get this going, we don't have a round robin at the moment, but we just want to enable round robin eventually, and it will then go and feed them all to the inputs of these energy condensers equally. Right now it's overpowering this quite a lot. So I'm just going to take, say, a couple of stacks of those out, and then I'm just going to feed it into my tablet because I want to be able to use these up for start, but also I need some personal EMC as well. So 300 million is a much better total than we had at the start of the episode. And yeah, so let's just take a final look at these. Have these got up to the next level I can swap out from the mob essence? Sextuple? No. Quintuple? No. Okay, so we'll leave it there, I think, for this episode. Our next episode will resume, probably carrying on setting up the rest of the singularities. I'll probably place them all before you actually start seeing the recording, and we'll just cover a little bit of a summary at the start, and we'll, you know, once they start building up singularities, we'll be able to go there. However, that's that done. And yeah, as always, guys, if you enjoyed the episode, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe, share as you normally would. Click on the bell if you want notifications. More importantly than all of that, leave comments for your fellow players with advice on stuff like this. All right, hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, I've enjoyed this episode. A lot of progress, I think, towards EMC and the end game stuff. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.